Here in Evanston, Dave Revson joined by BTN.com senior writer Tom Dienhart. Tom, you do this every stop along the way. Your three big impressions. We saw Northwestern practice here today on beautiful Hutchison Field.
Yeah.
What stood out to you about the Wildcats?
You know, the wide receiving core, I think, has a lot of potential. It's a unit that really needs to pick up the pace and become more refined and more developed. And I think, again, there is potential there, Dave, with Austin Carr leading the way. Flynn Nagel's another good veteran. Within the last year, they moved a couple players to the position to add some juice, to add some speed. Marcus McShepard from the secondary is one of them. Solomon Vaught, former running back, he's a quick wideout. There's also three true freshman receivers they think may have a chance to crack the rotation if they become more consistent. Dan Vitale's gone and super back, but watch Garrett Dickerson. Maybe he can emerge this year.
No shortage of numbers at receiver this year. Now the question is, will one or two of those guys break out? But there are plenty of options for them to choose from. What else?
You know, linebacker, I think that's going to be the strength of the defense. We've been to a lot of camps so far. I've seen a lot of good linebackers. Josie Jewell at Iowa, Riley Bulla at Michigan State, Raekwon McMillan at Ohio State. But the guy here, number one, Anthony Walker, may be the best of all of them in the Big Ten. He's going to be the linchpin in the middle of this defense. Again, a good core. Jalen Prater's going to be a good sidekick. Nate Hall. The entire back seven of this defense could be very good, Dave, even without Keith Watkins. Again, this Northwestern defense probably has as much talent and speed than I've ever seen.
Well, it's incredible how good they were last year when you consider how many bad positions they were put in by the offense. They really were. To finish where they did statistically and to win as many games as they did, it's a real credit to the job Mike Hankwitz has done with that team. What's your final thing? You
know, running back, ever since Pat Fitzgerald's been here, he's really developed a hard-nosed attitude to this program. He wants to run the football. He wants to be tough. He's got 3 or 4 good backs that he can do that with this year. Of course, Justin Jackson is the linchpin. Is he the best back in the Big Ten? Maybe. We shall see. He could lead Northwestern as an all-time great with Darnell Autry, Damian Anderson, and Tyrell Sutton, among others. But again, Jackson leads the way. Keep an eye on John Moten, maybe the fastest of all the backs from the same high school as Ezekiel Elliott, John Burrows in St. Louis. And I tell you what, it's just a good deep group of running backs that's going to be able to pound the rock. And I tell you what, Dave, if Clayton Thorson can develop as a passer, that's going to create even more ground game and ground room for his backs to work.
And no doubt, that's the huge variable. There's no question about it. Redshirt freshman last year, he struggled at times. This was a team that completed less than 50% of its passes. For them to be truly elite, where they look to be, they're going to have to get better in that passing game. But certainly saw some progress based on what we witnessed here today. Tom Dienhart, stop number 12 on the tour. We'll get Tom's 3 big impressions from Illinois tomorrow.